So in this one, I'll show you the tools that I use for writing code, especially. So the first and one that I have been using a lot is Cursor. And so now on, if I go to my terminal, so I have this default now that whenever I do cursor dot, similar to like you would have code dot for VS Code, I can go to my cursor. And now in this case, like pretty nice feature is this one where I can ask question, and either I can just copy and paste here and then ask question, or I could also use mention. If it's the whole file, then I can just mention here and then ask question. For example, can you improve the error handling here? Now, of course, this is not the most critical thing here, but idea would be that if I, and this is, I also have the Cursor premium subscription, so it's really fast. But you could also take, if you not have subscription, then also it provides you like 50 free queries, which are pretty helpful. And some of the interesting feature that I like here is that if I don't mention, then it also has this aspect of chat with entire code base. So it does keep the index of all the data, although the quality of response that I see for overall is not that great if I'm just like going to talking about overall code base. Now there are other aspect here, like for example, if this change just I have to do, so I can just add to chat and then say that add a feature to allow skipping this review, for example. So then you could only refer to that particular piece and do. Now this is much faster than me copy paste taking this and then going here and say do the error handling for this. Now typo does not matter much, which is a good thing. So I'll do this and then likely it will use the artifact on the right hand side to do this, which I really like this experience that I can see the code and this side by side. It's much cleaner, but there is an extra step here that I had to bring and copy. I don't generally use ChatGPT now, which I used to use a lot, but at times when this gets stuck, I do try to open it in another browser and also ask ChatGPT. So these two I have been using a lot in my coding. Cursor especially, I'm just thinking what other feature that I could tell you about that I like in Cursor. The other aspect is they do a good job of doing tabs. So often when I write something, there's nice sort of, uh, for example, this tab completion and then all of this that creation is pretty nice that I can just take and then tweak it. So I like doing this as well, where I try to write something and then it does. Another way to help is just do things here is just to write to do. For example, to do I could say, and if you see here, it has also given me what I could write here to do, like define an endpoint that takes audio input. This input is then converted to text and passed to LLM. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to do. And then what I could do is just go here in the chat and say in this file. Now this is still a simple file, but you could write a lot of to-dos and say please finish the to-do. So in that case, you can ask it to do very complicated things. For example, there has been cases where I have to change the variable name here and then the processing layer later. So all of this I can just write to-dos and then ask it to do, and it gives good boilerplate and sometimes complete code. So for example, here it rightly is figuring out this SR input that when using bytes.io to, I do have to test it that whether it works or not, but at least this part it took right, which is the API that I had defined and then was using here. So this is about coding. Two tools that I will recommend using. One is Anthropic, second is Cursor. I think OpenAI is pretty close, so that you could use it. You could also use when you are exactly writing code.